Hey, what is up, Internet? Kyle here, Slapshot Toys. Finally getting to do a Hot Toys action figure review for 2019. I believe this is the first one I've done, and here we are almost in June, 6 months into the year, and this is my first Hot Toy of the year. Now, granted, I've cut back on everything but pretty much Batman, and that's a figure we're going to take a look at today. It actually comes from the video game masterpiece series, and that is the Batman Arkham Origins Deathstroke. Now, I have collected this entire line for the Batman Arkham series that Hot Toys has done. Definitely had to pick this guy up as soon as I saw the promo images. I think I ordered him within 10 minutes. I think I was like at a red light. I got the email from Sideshow saying it was up, and I pre-ordered him right then and there. I could not wait to get this figure. You guys have heard me say it a million times. I am a massive sucker for armored Batman figures, and this one I think is going to be the absolute masterpiece of that series, and hopefully I'm right, and I can't wait to take a look at it. So let's not delay it any further. To the light box.
Pick a death card, any death card bet. No Kevlar vest, no red heart left. Sound minds bound by ties unholy. Harvester of souls online.
And here's the mercenary out of the packaging, and I think Hot Toys did a stellar job with this figure. Everything from the detailing in the armor to the battle damage to just oh, this thing looks so amazing with so many different textures and details, pouches, fabric, plastic. Pretty much any material Hot Toys uses, they used it in this figure. The sculpting is phenomenal. I cannot wait to show it to you in more detail, but we'll get to that in just a second. But he also comes with a ton of awesome accessories, so we're gonna go ahead and take a look at those first. As with all my Hot Toys reviews, I'm gonna go ahead and start with the stand. So we have a really nice cradle stand, which is what we get with most Hot Toys figures nowadays. We do have Deathstroke here on the left, a nice Gotham City skyline right there. We do have a very nice glossy Batman Arkham Origins logo right there, and then the plaque does say Batman Arkham Origins, and Deathstroke is stylized there on the bottom. I think that looks very, very nice. We are given 3 full sets of hands, and then we're also given 3 accessory hands. So the full sets of hands are these open hands, the sword holding hands, and 2 closed fists. And then we're also given 3 accessory hands. One is the trigger finger, one is this fully open hand, and then we're also given the staff holding hand. And taking a look at this fully open one, these things, as I knock the camera around, these things are detailed absolutely beautifully. I love that orange and black that they use. You get so much detail there in the armor plating. You have that really nice weather effect where the paint is actually chipping off. I think that looks immaculate. There over like the knuckles and everything, it just looks so good with that plating. Just, as I've said in most of my Arkham reviews, I'm a sucker for armor plating Batman figures, and this one definitely hits all the points I love about armor plated figures. It just looks phenomenal. And now taking a look at the weapons. Unfortunately, this is a plastic sword. First one we're going to take a look at. I know some of the newer Hot Toys, they've actually been doing metal weapons. This one is just painted plastic, but I think it looks really nice with this kind of gunmetal gray along the blade. You get some nice detailing here in the hilt and everything. You get some nice kind of texturized detail with the grip. And then you just get some like kind of orange and black throughout. I think it looks really good, but it would have been kind of cool if Hot Toys would have given this an actual metal. And then we are also given this sword sheath. Not a whole lot going on here, but you do get some nice weathering effects. You get the nice rivets and everything all throughout here, like that gray kind of weathering effect that they put over the black. And then there is a plug that actually ports into Deathstroke's back, which I'll show you how that works right here. And then as you can see here, there's an actual port here on the back of Deathstroke, and then also on the actual like pouch band here across his chest, there's another port. Just line those up, and then you have the port on the back of the sheath, and then just plug that in. And then there's just a little strap right here on the pouch strap that just goes over, clips right there, and then that is how you put on the sheath. And then the sword fits in very nicely into the sheath, so it fits very nice little click when you actually get all the way in there. I think it's a really cool display option if you want to have this on Deathstroke's back. The next weapon I want to take a look at is going to be the ballistic staff. Now this thing is huge as far as how big it is. That's what she said, right? So this is really cool. Got some nice detailing here on the ends, just a silver pole right there. Do have some nice texture there in the grips. I think that looks really cool. And one cool thing that they did give us, so that has the option to be this extremely long staff extended, but you can actually pull out the rods right there, and then we were given the caps to it, so it looks like it's compacted. I think that's a really cool display option if you don't want to have the giant staff all put together, so you can just put in these 2 ends into the ports there at the end, and you can have them holding it like it's in the compact version of the staff. And I really think that's a cool display option. Really happy that Hot Toys gave us that option as to not always having to have the giant staff displayed. And next up, we're going to take a look at the remote claw. This is a really cool gun from the game, and I really like the detailing on this. I think it looks really good. I love that black and kind of sparkly gunmetal gray, and even the black has a little bit of a sparkle to it, as you can see in the camera. Ton of detail. You actually get the pressure gauge right there. It does not actually function, but it looks really cool with the different pressures and everything, and the needle. I think it looks really, really nice. This side pretty much the same, and then the actual claw is actually articulated. So if you move the claw right up here, as you can see here, it actually articulates, and you can put it in a bunch of different kind of grabbing poses. I think that's really cool. It's just kind of cool how much detail Hot Toys puts into these with like the little mechanisms and things like that. So that is the remote claw gun. So that looks really cool. We are also given 2 grenades. These don't have a whole lot of detail, but what they do have, they look very nice. I mean, they're little miniature grenades. Definitely know what they are. And they actually go on Deathstroke's belt, and I'll show you right now how you actually hook those up. All right, and where the grenades go are actually these 2 like little rubber bands right here. So what you're actually going to want to do is just slide the grenade underneath, like the little kind of clip to the grenade underneath that band, if you can kind of see it there. And what you do is you just kind of rotate it up and then put the actual top of the grenade through it, and then it will hold in place just like so. Next up, we're gonna take a look at the pistol. This thing looks fantastic. Love that gunmetal gray. Get some nice texture there in the grip. Some nice detail all throughout the actual barrel and everything like that. Now the hammer does pull back and go forward. Thought that was a really cool working mechanism on the gun. But yeah, I thought it looks really, really nice. And then the last piece that we are given accessory-wise is a secondary chest piece. Now, I will show you kind of bringing in the figure here. The chest piece that normally comes on it, as you can see here, actually goes all the way to the side here, and the straps are probably good, I don't know, ½ inch or inch away from where those straps actually meet. As you can see here, the secondary plate comes in a lot further. So it doesn't go as far into the armpit arm section as this chest plate does. And this one is just to give it a little bit more mobility if you want it to have a little bit more dynamic pose, which is a nice option since this is a very heavily armored figure, and it just gives you a little bit of a different look of Deathstroke as well. And now to take a closer look at Deathstroke himself, like I said in my intro, this thing looks amazing with how much texture and detail that they were able to put into him. And starting up here with the helmet, I think this thing looks amazing. I love this kind of golf ball bubble texture. I really can't think of a better word for it. I think it looks stunning. The blue and the orange that they use look so good together. You get all this battle damage, you get all those cuts, all those scrapes, all like the paint chipping off, all like the weathering effects. It looks amazing. And then if you get like really close here, you can see as I get Slade's eye right there. That looks amazing. See if I can get a little bit better in the light here. I mean, just the amount of detail just in that little bit of skin and eye looks unreal. And then come over here to the side, you get some more battle damage. Coming here to the back, you do get a blue plate, you get some of the straps, and then you do get these actual kind of ribbons right here. The cool thing is these actually have wires in them, so you're actually able to pose them however you want them. If you want them to stay up, they'll actually stay. They really won't stay horizontal with them, but they actually do hold their shape pretty well. If you want to design those to get a good pose. And then come down here to the actual body, once again, you just get some amazing armor plating. The blue and orange, once again, just looks phenomenal. Ton more battle damage. I love this little kind of pouch strap that he has here across his chest. This is all actual fabric, and it looks wonderful. And then coming down here to the actual abdomen, once again, you get that awesome armor plating with that kind of golf ball texture. And then as you come over here, you actually get this like kind of almost scale-like texture. Now this is like the same kind of rubbery material that they use for the Arkham Knight, for like the undersuit of Batman and Arkham Knight. So it's really not like actually like that pattern, although it looks 3D, is actually just printed on. But I think it looks amazing there on both sides. You also get it on the arms a little bit as well. Come up here to the shoulders, you get some more amazing armor plating. You get some awesome battle damage. You get those scales there on the elbows. And then the gauntlets look phenomenal as well. I mean, just look at all those scratches. Look at all that just damage. It looks so freaking cool. And on this side, you do have a little bit more as far as shotgun shells and things like that. And one cool thing is these shotgun shells are removable. As you can see here, you can't pop them out of place. So if you want to give it a look like he's actually used a couple of them, you can definitely do that. There are 7 of them, and I thought that was a really cool feature that Hot Toys did give us. Come down here to the belts, you get a ton of pouches all throughout here. You get a couple different belts. You got the one back there keeping the armor plating intact, and then you have this loose one that has a bunch of different pouches that will rotate and move around as you need them to. Coming here to the back, not a whole lot going on, just some combat pants. Then coming down here to the legs, you do have the holster for the gun right there, tons of straps all around his thighs, some more armor plating. Coming down to the boots, once again, some awesome armor plating there. I just love like the geometry of all this armor. It looks so freaking awesome. And then some orange there right above the boot. The back, you have a little bit more of that texture. Boots look really nice. You get that strap right there on the side. You get some kind of cuts and stuff all throughout. And then here on the bottom, you get some awesome army tread. As far as articulation on this figure, his head can rotate about that far. The issue that you have is there's actually this like little kind of spot here on the neck that comes up, so that actually hits against his mask, so it does hinder the side-to-side movement just a little bit. As far as looking up, he can actually look up quite a bit, about that far before it kind of bounces back, and then looking down, he has a fairly good range of motion as well, so you can look down about that far. Now, as far as the arms, they do go about 90 degrees to his body, so fairly good range of motion there. You do start getting some kind of hitting with the armor plating and the neck right about there. And then as far as going forward, they can actually go forward a really good amount, so you get some good range of motion there. There's not a whole lot of pulling in the undersuit as far as going forward. And then going back, once again, fairly good range of motion there as well. And not a whole lot. You get a little bit of bunching there, but nothing too major. And then as far as the bicep, there is a cut up here at the bicep. It is a little bit hard to use just because of all the armor plating. And then the elbows, there is a double joint there. You do get a fairly good range of motion there, but I'm not going to lie, I am a little bit worried about the paint of those scales. I think the more you're going to use it, I think that's going to actually start to kind of peel off. So definitely use that at caution. It feels like it's a lot looser than some of the other figures, and I wonder if they're doing that to allow a little bit more play. But definitely be very careful when you are putting the elbows into really dynamic poses for long periods of time. And then there is a cut also here at the elbow, so that does rotate as well. And then the hands do rotate, and they are hinged up and down. If I can find where the hinge is, it's right there. Now, as far as the chest, this is probably where it lacks the most, and the reason being is this whole armor piece is one piece, so it doesn't really give at all. So I'm sure there is a ab crunch here and there, but unfortunately you really can't use it because that is one piece of solid plastic. And then there is just a little bit of rotation here at the waist. Now, as far as the legs, you can not really do the splits because you're getting some major pulling there in the crotch, and then also these armor platings go straight up to the hips, so they are hitting that section pretty much as soon as you go about that far. So that's about all you can get out of him. There is a cut up here at the thigh, so that does rotate. He is double jointed at the knees. The only issue you're going to run into is the little bands there for the knee pads. Definitely hinder that a little bit, and there's also this little silver armor piece right there that also stops it right about 90 degrees. So not a terrible range of motion, but probably not the best that you're going to get out of a Hot Toys figure. And then as far as the feet, they do rotate. They are hinged up and down, and he does have ankle pivot. So that is going to do it for my review of the Hot Toys video game masterpiece, VGM 30 Deathstroke from Batman Arkham Origins. Like I said throughout this review, I think this figure is a Hot Toys masterpiece, and I mean that in every sense of the word. This is why I collect Hot Toys. This is why I collect Batman Hot Toys, is for detail like this. And I feel like Hot Toys, especially with the video game, the Arkham Knight series, because it's more like, I don't know, it's drawn art instead of trying to represent something in real life. I feel like they just nail these figures so incredibly well. They get all the details. They pack so much into it. This is just a stunning figure, and if you're a Deathstroke fan, if you're a fan of the Arkham series as a whole, I highly recommend picking up this figure. At the time of the recording, Sideshow does still have him available, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know how many other chances we're gonna have to get a Deathstroke figure in 1/6 scale form from Hot Toys. Spoilers, I know, but in the end credit scene of Justice League, they try to set up Deathstroke for the DCU, so I don't know if they're actually going to use him or not, but this is definitely at least one figure we know we're getting of Deathstroke. So yeah, like I said, if you're a Deathstroke fan, if you're an Arkham Origins or just Arkham series Batman fan in general, and you collect 1/6 scale Hot Toys figures, especially for Batman, I highly recommend this figure. It's probably going to be my figure of the year. It is that amazing. I hope my review kind of just showed how much I truly love this figure. So once again, that is going to do it for me this evening. I want to thank you guys so much for checking out these videos. It means the world to me that you guys are watching them. Thank you guys so much for watching all the soccer stuff. Should have some more toy stuff coming here shortly. Also have a couple away days where I'm going to be traveling with FC Cincinnati. So I'm going to be doing definitely vlogs for those. So I really hope you guys are enjoying the kind of mix up stuff that I'm doing here with a couple different things. Love making these videos, so hope you guys enjoy watching them. But once again, I want to thank you guys for checking out these videos. Oh yeah, and if you guys like this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. If you guys didn't like this video, give it a big thumbs down. And if you're new to the channel and you like the toy stuff or the soccer stuff, if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, it'd be greatly appreciated. And I would love to hear from you guys in the comments what you guys think of Deathstroke, what you think of this figure. Pretty much anything you guys want to talk about related to DC, Batman, soccer, beer, whatever you guys want to talk about. I love talking with you guys, so leave a comment. And that is going to do it for me this evening. So once again, I want to thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya.